Hey everybody, so I'm very excited about what's in that box. This week I had an opportunity to order something I've been very excited for the studio for about 2 years, about 4 years. I'm doing a lot of research for a specific piece of equipment, and by a lot of research I mean watching a lot of YouTube videos. And in the box behind me is a very special piece of gear. We're going to open it up and we're going to take a look, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Stay tuned. Okay, so now that I've unboxed this thing, before I tell you what this is, I would like to tell you a story. Once upon a time, musicians would gather together in large recording studios, and they would all play their instruments and sing at the same time, and they would create records in this fashion. So everyone would be in the same room at the same time, and there would be an engineer at this gigantic sound recording console. And the sound recording console was magical. It was mystical. It was made up of unicorn dust and pixie flowers and glitter. It wasn't really made out of those things, but it was made out of some very special electronical components called transformers. And the recording console produced a very wonderful and warm sound through the transistors and everything that it had inside of it. So this thing that I ordered is a very small portion of a very large recording console. And back to my once upon a time story. Once upon a time, there was a company called Neve, and they produced these amazing consoles, and they still do. And these consoles cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they still do. But to make the Neve recording console more accessible for a home studio owner like myself, they started taking these microphone preamps, the design from the big gigantic recording console that's the size of my entire studio, and they started making them into a rack mounted unit, which looks like this. So in my hands is a 2-channel microphone preamp, which is essentially a small portion of a very large recording console that fits in my hand. This thing is heavy, and I'm going to stop holding it now. But this is essentially a beautiful British Neve microphone preamp made with all the unicorn dust and pixie magic all in one rack mountable box, and now it's going into my home studio. I'm very excited. Okie dokie. So we have the new microphone preamp installed, and she is beautiful. The Neve 1073 DPX. I am so looking forward to tracking some instruments with this over the next couple days and letting you hear how it sounds. So I said some funny things before. First, I think I used the word at some point transistor, and I believe the right word is transformer. So we get these transformers all warmed up, and they sound beautiful and musical. That's one of the things that this Neve mic pre is known for. And you're like, well, aren't all microphone preamps musical? Not really. Some of them are. And this is one of the things, like I mentioned before, going down the YouTube rabbit hole and listening to comparisons and gear setups and API versus Neve mic pre's and Focusrite versus Neve, and I've just kind of found that I believe that Neve is the sound that I'm hearing in my head, and that's why I ended up making the investment in this Neve mic pre. The other thing I said that's kind of funny, you might be wondering, is I said that musicians used to all sit around in the same room and record music together. And well, don't people do that now? Well, yes and no. So the way we do things now can be really either or both. And what I mean by that is a lot of studios don't have the space or the input count to have a whole band and everyone's sitting in the same room and listening to the same headphone mix and creating music at the same time. But that's preferred because just like any other relationship, musician relationships and how we play off of one another affects the music in a very positive way. So when you get a group of people in a room that are playing well and the vibe is great and music is happening, there's something very magical, back to that whole unicorn dust thing. So that is beautiful. But most often today we might track what we call in an overdub fashion, where we play the acoustic guitar and then we go back and we sing, then we add the bass, and then we go back and we add the drums, and that's called overdubbing. And that's more of the style of recording that I do. Although I have recorded full bands down here, there is just something really beautiful. The pixie dust and the unicorn eyelashes and all that stuff really kind of comes forward when we're recording like that, because it does affect the dynamic of how we're interacting with one another. So I'm going to start capturing some sounds with this new microphone pre over the next couple weeks, and I'm very excited to record some new demos with it and excited to let you all hear all the stuff that I'm talking about. There's just some magic around this old, it's brand new, but the older designed transformers, maybe transformers, that just does something really wonderful to music. So I'm very excited to have you all hear this and be on this journey with me. And I'm always excited to get some new gear. I also got another piece of gear this week called a Universal Audio aux box. It's for an amplifier. We'll go into that a little bit more some other time. But I'm looking forward to putting on a set of headphones and tracking some instruments with this new Neve 1073 microphone preamp. And I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Much love. Till next time. And just as a quick edit, one of the things I forgot to mention in the sound of this thing is it sounds like Kisses from Gracie. So unicorn, pixie dust, unicorn, smooches, and kisses from Gracie. That's how it sounds. Pixie dust, unicorn snot, no, unicorn eyelashes, and kisses from Gracie.